Welcome to another coffee break on my channel Firm Learning. Today I'm back in my flat in Munich. We got a new balcony and I spent some time building the new furniture today. But now I'm back and creating today's video for you. And today I'm talking about a topic that I already talked about several times on this channel, and this is slide writing. I want to help you to create presentations in the style of leading consulting firms like McKinsey, BCG, Bain. And in today's video I will combine learnings from different other videos that are already created on this channel. If you've never seen any of these videos, I will link a playlist somewhere above here, because today I'm talking about the creation of charts. So whenever you will work with data in your job, in industry or in consulting, charts will always be a major part of this. I will show you how to put together a chart that it looks professional, that it speaks for itself. So stay tuned and let's dive in. For the purpose of this video, I selected a bit more of a complex chart. And what you can see here is different countries. So you can see them as, for instance, business units of a company. And now they have 3 data points. Each of these countries has 3 data points that are depicted here in this chart. And at the example of Germany, you see that this geography for this specific company has a certain operating margin. Here's something slightly below 8. It has a CAGR, a compounded annual growth rate of the business of around 6%. So how much is this business growing year on year? And then there is the market size. The market size that is here now reflected in the diameter, in the size of this circle that is displayed here. And for charts like this, where you have 3 dimensions that you want to show, such a chart with an X and a Y axis, and then also the size of the bubbles, for instance, as third dimension often works quite well. Now in this video I want to put your attention to different aspects of this, different things that you can now do to make this chart look like it would have been created by a professional consulting firm like McKinsey, BCG or Bain. Now for starters, I'd like to put your attention on the layout. So this is a rather clean layout. Now you could easily make this layout much more messy. You could, for instance, include different colors for these circles, include these separator lines, make this blue, for instance, this red. So now I introduce different colors for the different circles. And this is what I often see people do: color it all up, make it look colorful, but this is not what you want to do. The basic rule is that whenever you use color, color should always have a meaning. And if it doesn't really portray a message, you rather go for a basic unified color without any differentiation in the colors that you are using. So if you use color, make sure to portray meaning by it. So what could be a meaning that would justify the use of colors? So if you now look at this chart, one conclusion that you might be able to draw from this chart is that there are actually 2 regions which are extremely interesting and relevant for this company. And this will likely be Asia Pacific and North America. Because the business in Asia Pacific has a high margin, it is growing extremely fast, and it is rather large. And regarding North America, the numbers are slightly worse than in Asia Pacific, but the business is even larger, making it relevant as well. Now, if you would want to emphasize this, if this is the message of this chart, you could now go ahead and, for instance, color these 2 regions in blue, just to show that this is where the focus of the audience should be at. Next thing to look out for are the legends, the axis labels. And you see that now we have really 3 legends, or 3 types of dimensions we need to label. First, the x-axis, the CAGR, then the y-axis, operating margin, and then this additional information on the diameter. So again, CAGR stands for compounded annual growth rate, pretty much shows how much this company or this business unit, this region is growing year on year. And if you want to see more from me on this topic, because this video is indeed combining different elements of other videos already created, check out my playlist on slide writing. I will insert a link to the playlist somewhere above here, and I even have a full online course on slide writing. There will be a link to that included in the video description. This is a multi-hour program where I teach you all the relevant skills and tactics that you need to create slide presentations in the style of leading consulting firms. So if this is of interest to you, have a look at the link in the video description. But now, if you've seen my other videos, you know that one of the things that you should always look out for is that whenever you write percentage, so pretty much saying that this x-axis is showing percentage figures, you should always say the percentage of what is shown here. Because of course now the growth rate could be the growth rate of all kinds of different things. But now here in this example, this is supposed to be the growth rate of the revenue. So let's write percentage of revenue just to make it clear here. And similar is true for the operating margin. And now you might infer that this refers to the revenue. But again, there are also other margin definitions. There are also things like cost margins. So here it's always helpful to again include percentage of revenue just to label the margin of what we are currently looking at. Now to the diameter, the third dimension with the market size. Here you see my suggestion on how to call this next to something that should be included on every chart, and this is a chart title. So I'm just copying it over here, a basic element. This is pretty much just a combination of a text box and a line element that is just put together here. And indeed, the title should clearly label what you're seeing, because this is often quite a struggle. You look at a chart like that and you're asking yourself, well, what exactly am I seeing here? So to help your reader to make this very salient and transparent, include a title and clearly label that. And for instance, here we could write something like key metrics for geographical business units. Something like this. Here again, if you have another suggestion, feel free to let me know in the comments. And indeed, when you write such a title, you can also include other qualifiers next to it. So for instance, here it might be relevant from what report this is coming, based on financial reporting 2014, something like that is what you could include just to make this really salient. And then potentially here you could also include the year figure. All right, next, usually when you create such a chart, you do not want to only leave the viewer alone with such a chart, but you also want to provide some commentary, some implications, the famous so what. You want your chart to have a message. And of course, if the reader just looks at this, it is really difficult to, on the first sight, get this message out of it. And now the question is, how do we include this? How do we nicely lay out this? And again, if you have watched other videos from me on this topic, you know one basic principle of slide writing is every slide is a table. Every slide is a table because it has columns and rows. So if you look at this page and you want to include additional information, think about it as having two columns. You have now the first big column to the left where you then include the chart as we did here, and then you can include a second column here to the right, and I'm copying over this element, and this is now the second column where you can now include some implications. So let's just call it exactly like this. Let's maybe make this a little bit smaller, give a little bit more space to this one. So now let's copy in a text field. And now indeed this is something that we can use just to include some commentary and some remarks. Now for instance, we could write something like Asia Pacific and North America. And then a nice little tweak that you can do to emphasize your message is to bold the most important points in every bullet. Then it's also nice to color it not necessarily in black, but maybe the main color theme of a presentation to make them really stick out. This often helps to more easily read these bullets and get the most important points out. Let's now finalize this by creating another key element of this page, and this is of course the action title. Here again I created an extensive video on action titles in the past on my channel. I will link it above here, check it out. So I will now not go into too much detail on what the action title is all about and what should be included here. But for instance, we could write something like company should further focus on Asia Pacific and North America, addressing total market of 428 million. And again, just to remind you, it is usually a good idea whenever you have a page with data on it, and of course this will be frequently the case, to then also include a number in the action title. This makes it much more crisp and tangible, and this is the feeling that you want to go for. I hope this was helpful. If you have any more questions, feel free to write me a comment in the comment section. As you know, I will try my very best to answer every single comment that you write. If you want to learn more on this topic, I did create this full online course. Check out the link to it in the video description. And if you want to continue your learning journey on this channel, I will link a video above here with additional slide writing content. So if you took any value out of this video at all, please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm and also subscribe subscribe to my channel to stay up to date on all the content. I'm releasing new videos every single week. Feel also free to follow me on my Instagram. My handle is Firm Learning. And now I also want to say thanks to all the members of the channel. You're really making a great contribution to the work, to the cause of this channel. Thank you so much. Good weekend to all of you and see you soon next Saturday.